So I thought I'd take a second here and show you guys this oven that we've been restoring. It was a vintage Okeefe and Merritt. It's an Aristocrat model. I think it's probably from the early 60s. We picked it up from one of our neighbors. She had it on her porch for years and years. It was pretty heavily greased up, rusted. It needed the works. So I was looking online and I really couldn't find much about how these guys work or how to restore them. So in the sake of saving you guys some trouble, I thought I'd give you an overview of what I've had to do. So basically, we used a heavy degreaser cleaner to clean this up. Used a combination of different things. We used some goof off to clean up all the knobs, and then I actually used some old school carburetor cleaner to really get a lot of that old gum. This stuff is pretty heavy duty. Make sure you wear gloves. And then also we restored all of the chrome. What we did here is we used a just Diet Coke and aluminum foil. There's a lot of videos online about how to do this, but basically the aluminum foil works as your sanding paper, so you just make a wad and you kind of brush it along. And then the Coke acts as a like a de-rusting agent. Basically, I think it has a folic acid or some type of acid in it that eats away the rust. Now, a lot of people will see a totally rusted chrome piece and think that, you know, the rust is actually coming, you know, off of the chrome, but a lot of the times the rust is just surface rust when it comes off. I don't really have too many shots of this, and actually you can see we weren't able to get all of it off, but overall it looks pretty good. So the way this oven works is actually very simple. There's a main gas line here, which I've had to replace because the old size threads to thread into the wall or into the main gas feed were no longer compatible with today's sizes, so had to get my grinder, cut out a couple things. But this is just a 3/4 inch black pipe you can get at Home Depot. Tighten it up just using a wrench and some pipe dope. I like to tighten until you can see about 3 or 4 threads, but you know, you just tighten it down pretty tightly using a long enough wrench. You can over tighten, so you gotta be careful. The way this works is the gas comes in and then it feeds into this manifold piece right here. Now the manifold basically has all of the knobs attached to it, as well as all of the pilot lights. So here, this is actually a pilot light that we have going right now. It's fed through a tiny 1/4 inch line right here, and the pilot light can actually be adjusted via this little screw. So if you tighten the screw, you'll have no gas going to the pilot light. If you open it up, you'll have more and more gas going to the pilot light. Now what you want ideally is a tiny little blue flame. You'll see there's not much yellow on this flame. That means it's a fairly good burn. The more yellow you have, or orange, the less efficient the combustibility is, or combustion rather. These are the knobs that we actually had to pop off, degrease. When I reinstalled them, I put a little bit of plumber's putty in the back so that the chrome plating, or the chrome piece right here, would stick better to the faceplate. And then in here you can see we have the pilot lights going. There's a burner right there. So I think if I turn this on, we'll see it. I'm not sure which one this is anymore. That should be the broiler. Oh, I think I need to hit this up. Yeah, here we go. So this is a safety mechanism. After the pilot light's been on for about 2 minutes, I think you have to hold this for about 45 seconds. And then it will kick the burner on. Yeah, bingo. Yeah, so that's good to know. So the way these burners work is that there's basically these 2 orifices right here, which is controlled by this knob. These will send gas into the burner units. Now I have the burner units right here, The way this works is the gas injector on the left side feeds the center, and the gas injector on the right side feeds the perimeter. The gas coming into the left side will actually go into the middle here. It will get fed out this tube, which will go to the pilot light. The pilot light will light the gas. The flame will work its way back up in here, light the center, and then the center flame will light the perimeter. Now, if you're noticing issues with the color of your burning, again, you want a nice blue flame. You can adjust these, I guess you'd call them butterflies, much like an old school carburetor. And you can just adjust the air mixture, you know, by opening and closing these. Now, I didn't have to mess with any of these. You probably shouldn't mess with them. Chances are they're already well adjusted. But just so you know what they're for, that's their purpose, is a air mixture. And yeah, that's about it. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Don't be afraid to tackle this. It's a pretty simple project. It just takes a lot of elbow grease. So this is how you remove the burners. I've just gone ahead and taken out the screw that's right here so that this can lift up and down. Then once you lift it up, you can actually take the back part of this, lift it up and push it that way, and it'll come out. Now it's going to be a little hard for me to do this with one hand. Also, you got to remove, these are so hot. You got to remove the burner units. Here we go. 1, 2, and now I should just be able to lift this and take it out. Yeah, here we go. And that's how you take the burners out. One more thing. The way that these knobs work is pretty interesting. So when you first turn it on, it will only feed the left side orifice, which is what works with your igniter or your pilot light. As you move forward, then both orifices, I don't know if you can hear it, now are activated, and this will feed the entire burner. You can actually hear the different clicks for that. Now, secondly, we've had some issues with one of the, or a lot of the actually, centers of the burners not lighting, or what attaches to the pilot light not lighting the burner. And this is because of the left side orifice. So here we have the left side orifice, which feeds right into this guy right here. The gas is sent through here, up in there, down the tube to the pilot light, comes back, as I explained previously. But this this little guy here has a tiny orifice in it, as you can see, but this can get clogged with grease over time. So what I've done is I've taken a little dentist tool